Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make beef and broccoli with fried rice. Alright, so I have 2 pounds of sirloin tip steak, 2 cloves of garlic, a large onion. Now for my spices, I'm going to show you first the crushed red peppers, the coconut oil, I have soy sauce, and I also have sesame seed oil. Sesame seed oil is extremely potent, so you have to be careful how much you use. So I'm going to take about a tablespoon of this coconut oil and I'm going to go ahead and brown my meat. I'm not going to cook it all the way through because you will have to finish cooking all the ingredients together and you don't want your steak to get too tough. So this is about how much oil I use. And I'm going to go ahead and brown the meat and I'll be right back. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and half this onion and then I'm going to chop up each half. Next, I'm going to go ahead and crack open my garlic. That way I can go ahead and peel it. And then I will be chopping it up into tiny pieces. Okay, so I'm done chopping up my garlic. Now I'm going to take my onion and I'm going to go ahead and break it down like so. Alright, so after I break down my onion and chop up my garlic, I'm going to go ahead and switch to a bigger pot because I will be adding in the broccoli. That way the garlic, onions, the meat, and the broccoli can simmer all together. And I'm also going to add in my spices. So I'm going to add in coconut oil, some more coconut oil. And then I'm going to start putting in my onions and garlic and letting those saute down. So if you look carefully, I'm adding in water and I'm using my hand that way. I don't add in too much just to give the pot a little steam to help those onions cook down some. So my onions have been cooking down. Now that they're tender, I'm going to go ahead and add in my meat. Now my meat only has the adobo seasoning on it. I'm going to add the meat and the juice all. That way it gives it a little extra flavor. And then I'm going to let all that simmer and cook down together. Alrighty, so my meat and onions and garlic have been cooking for a little while now. So what I'm going to do next is go ahead and add in some of my spices. Now let me go ahead and tell you guys, I am a wimp when it comes to heat. So the crushed red peppers, I don't put very much on it. However, for my husband and his oldest son, I do put extra red peppers in theirs because they do like the heat. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab our broccoli. And this is probably about 2 cups of broccoli. I feed 2 grown men and a toddler that eats like a grown man, so I do make plenty for everybody. Now I know you're thinking, this doesn't look like beef and broccoli. Just wait until I add in the wet ingredients and it'll start looking, tasting, and smelling just like the beef and broccoli you will buy at the Chinese restaurant. I use any type of soy sauce. I just get the Walmart brand of soy sauce and you just pour it in there to your taste. Now keep in mind, soy sauce is very, very, very salty. So taste as you go. So I'm going to go ahead and use the sesame seed oil. Now, like I told you guys earlier, it is extremely potent, so I do measure it out. I use 2 teaspoons. Now, if for whatever reason you accidentally use too much, I would add in a little bit of water to offset it because you don't want it to overpower your dish. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start on our fried rice. Now, I feed 2 grown men and a toddler like I mentioned earlier, so it will take 1/4 cup for each person. So it'll be half a cup, and then I do half of a 1/4 cup for my toddler. Now, this is my favorite rice to use when I do fried rice. I'm thinking it's pronounced basmati rice. I could be saying it wrong, so if I am, I do apologize. So now I'm just going to take a fine strainer to go ahead and strain my rice, make sure all the water is out of it. Also, I don't cook my rice fully because I am going to be frying it, which will finish cooking it. And you don't want to overcook your rice, then you're going to have chewy rice, and you don't want that. So as you're about to see, I went to go put oil in my pan and my oil dispenser tip broke off, I am using extra virgin olive oil to fry my rice. I get my pan really hot and I go ahead and crack open 2 eggs. Now, I have heard that if you use room temperature eggs, they scramble better, but it's dealer's choice. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice and salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. It's time to add in my wet ingredients, so I go ahead and finish off the bottle of soy sauce. You want enough soy sauce that way you can taste it, but you don't want too much because once again, it is extremely salty. Now, the sesame seed oil is actually what makes fried rice taste so yummy, and I've made this so much that I just kind of can eyeball it and tell how much to put in. Rice absorbs liquid very quickly, so you have to add a little bit more of your olive oil in there. That way you can start getting that fried rice texture. Make sure you stir the eggs in with the rice really well. That way everything can get absorbed at once. rice is a dish that you want to constantly keep stirring. However, at this point in the video, I was struggling very hard to reach the pepper, so I had to climb on top of my kitchen counters. But just keep in mind to constantly stir your rice. Go ahead and set all your seasonings out on the counter. That way you will not go through what I just went through. There you have it. Our fried rice is all done. This is the finished product. Beef broccoli with fried rice. Now, some people like to add in peppers, like whole bell peppers in their beef and broccoli. I don't, because nobody in my house does. So, dealer's choice, of course. Thank you guys for joining me today on this wonderful Asian adventure. I'll see you all next time.